Log number... Does it even matter if I say the number? You don't care, right? I'd ask if anyone's even listening, but... well, there will always at least be 5, and I have no choice but to please them. I know that. I've always known that. I should have known better than to think otherwise. So, right, the latest chapter. There's too much content for me to do a clip show for, so I'll just hit the bullet points. The Awakened took some time to gather themselves while Junior sat them all down in front of a chalkboard. There he proceeded to lay down the basics of Black Star lore. How all life came from her, the first Black Star, and how she was sealed between dimensions after the God War. How she is seeking to escape and regain control over the multiverse, and how all other Black Stars are created to further that goal. How the Void is an incubator for gods, and how her latest project would complete this section of the great work. How once I take a name and ascend, I will claim my birthright as fate and erase the concept of choice. Good thing I'm a half-decent writer, huh? I was upset when I heard he told them. For every piece of Black Star knowledge gained, there is a chance that a human's body will collapse into goo and their soul will be trapped in eternal agony. I wanted to at least keep these humans safe from that. But, well, Junior was right. Given the situation, we can't really afford to keep any more secrets. And of course, that means that all of my efforts to keep said secrets were in vain. Great. I felt a bit overwhelmed, so I decided to try to unwind a bit with a paid scenario I'd set aside for a rainy day, the coffee shop AU. I set Junior and Ezra up as baristas and lined everyone up to take their pick of the menu. I tried putting Stephen Cutter at the back of the line where I hoped he'd create less drama, but of course everyone was already cagey around him. I decided to ignore that and get myself a latte to calm myself down. But go figure, the Gazebo Rangers weren't going to let me off that easy. We had a heart-to-heart and I talked about, well, how I don't want to rewrite reality, but it's complicated. What I want hasn't mattered in a long time, unless that want happens to coincide with what this stupid hole in my chest wants. Regardless of how badly I want to do good, regardless of how much I want to make things better, the hole wants, and I can only resist it for so long. The Awakened, they suggested trying something different. That was the whole point of this, right? I'd managed to tell decent endings with Ezra and Haley, so maybe things could be different here. They suggested I try turning over a new leaf, and to start with that, perhaps I should apologize to those I'd wronged. And I did try. Gazebo Gang was receptive, of course, and surprisingly, Tommy and Ezra went equally well. Ezra even outright forgave me, though, I don't know, maybe he was just in a forgiving mood given that he and Tommy were already talking out the John thing. Valencia also complimented me on growth after I apologized in between my attempts to guess what's been going on with her. So that was a whole slew of good all at once. I should have known it wouldn't last, but I'm getting ahead of myself. While I was dealing with trying, everyone else was doing work of their own. Junior and Ezra talked through the weight of Junior's Black Star pass behind the cafe counter, with Hugo tagging along to help even things out. Between this talk and a bit of sharing from Tommy, it seems like Junior's been a little busy processing stuff from his past. And while that past does have some questions to it, I suppose the real question is if he's willing to take on his future. Put a pin in that one. Speaking of Tommy, between talking things out with Ezra and spilling his orphan past with Grace, he was bonding quite a bit this episode. A lot of the Awakened were bonding, actually. Grace got drunk with Vinny and Percy and then laughed when Percy got hit upside the head by the beach volleyball that Ezra punted 2 episodes ago. After that, Vinny and Ezra did some more family bonding, and Vincent learned that Sam actually survived his crash. Percy, Valencia, and Hugo had fun teaching the child about the acquired taste of coffee. Finally, Haley checked in on Ezra to make sure he was okay after all that backstory drama from the last episode, and then the two of them swapped workout tips. As for Stephen Cutter, well, he had a rough time in the coffee shop. While Hugo and Haley were rather upset about him shredding them to pieces the last time they saw him, he couldn't remember them at all and was just rather confused by all the ire. His confusion only doubled when a drunken Grace cornered him and attempted to get information out of him, with typically fruitless results. Eventually, he hid in the bathroom just to get away from it all, and that's when he met up with Thorin and the game changed. Because he did remember, as it turns out. Stephen Cutter remembered everything, and he took this moment alone to tell Thorin that he was a bad person for being friends with, well, me. Of course he drove Thorin to tears, then promptly acted as if nothing ever happened and sauntered his way out of the coffee shop. Ugh, the nerve. I consoled Thorin with a nice cup of hot chocolate and then took the chance to, well, apologize. Thorin isn't a bad person. Not really. Not when I've covered up so much of what I've done, but, well, there's the second part of that sentence, isn't there? I've been lying to him about a lot. So I apologized, and he took it surprisingly well. And he said we were still friends, and he was so kind, and I didn't deserve any of it. He suggested that I try doing something familiar while also trying the whole not being bad thing. And that seems like it might actually work. I've been getting progressively nicer after all. And the second scenario was Discord Advertiser Friendly Party, where I couldn't kill anybody anyway. So between those two things, I was actually starting to feel confident and hopeful. Sure, I failed before, but maybe this time would be different. Given the upward climb of the episode and how swimmingly my other apologies had gone, I decided to pull Doc and Grace aside so I could try apologizing to them as well. And, well, I don't know what I expected. I knew they wouldn't forgive me. Of course they wouldn't. I don't deserve forgiveness. I don't deserve anything good at this point, but things had been going so well, so I guess I just thought... It doesn't matter what I thought. It doesn't matter that I wanted to do better. It doesn't matter that I wanted to change. It doesn't matter I apologized. It doesn't matter that some of them actually might kind of like me or care about me. In the end, Doc was right. Grace was right. I tried to defy it. I tried to change. But as soon as I said the end, the hole in my chest started bleeding, and Percy and Thorin tried to help, and I tried to tell them to get back, and they just didn't listen, and Percy... I heard him. I heard him so bad. And Thorin saw, and he was so scared, and he called me a monster, and he's right. I am. I never should have let him think we could be friends. That was so selfish and so stupid of me. I can't be friends with a human child. I can't be Emmy or Charlotte or even some stupid, cheesy, over-the-top name like Murder God. I am a black star. That is all I will ever be, and I am so stupid for ever thinking otherwise. I'm stupid for caring, and being upset about this, and being hurt when I fucking deserve everything that's happened. And if I'd just been good, none of this would have happened, but I just can't. I'm just gonna write for a bit. I'm gonna get some feelings out. Then I'll get back to work.